Hello, we'll continue with The Merchant of Venice. We're on scene 9 of Act 2. We enter Nerissa and the servitor. Nerissa is a handmaid of Portia and she enters with a servitor. A servitor is a servant. Nerissa, quick, quick, I pray thee, draw the curtain straight. The Prince of Aragon had taken his oath and comes to his election presently. So Nerissa asks the servant to draw the curtains from which behind which are the caskets, three caskets of gold, silver, and lead. So the Prince of Aragon has come to try his luck, and he's taken oath, and he's going to come to choose presently. Enter the Prince of Aragon, his train, and Portia. So the Prince of Aragon enters with his train. A train is a group of servants which follow the master. The Prince of Aragon is train, and Portia enter. Portia, behold, there stand the caskets, noble prince. If you choose that wherein I am contained, straight shall our nuptial rites be solemnized. But if you fail without more speech, my lord, you must be gone from hence immediately. So Portia tells Prince of Aragon that the caskets, the three caskets of gold, silver, and lead are before him, and if the Prince of Aragon chooses the casket which contains Portia's portrait, then no sooner has he chosen the casket than Portia and the Prince of Aragon will be married, the nuptial rites, the marriage rites will be solemnized in the church. But if the Prince of Aragon does not choose the right casket, without any more speech, he must be gone from Belmont immediately. Aragon, I am enjoined by oath to observe three things. First, never to unfold to anyone which casket was I chose. Next, if I fail of the right casket, never in my life to woo a maid in way of marriage. Lastly, if I do fail in fortune of my choice, immediately to leave you and be gone. So the Prince of Aragon lists the three conditions on which each suitor has to swear, has to take an oath on. Those three things are, the first one is never to tell anyone which casket he chose. So he should not tell anyone whether he chose gold, silver, or lead casket. The next thing that he has to swear upon is that if he fails to choose the right casket, never in his life to go behind a maid in way of marriage. He should not marry if he chooses the wrong casket. And if he does fail in fortune, if he does choose the wrong casket again, then he must immediately leave Portia and be gone from Belmont. Portia. To these injunctions, everyone does swear that comes to hazard for my worthless self. So Portia says that to these rules, everyone must take an oath upon the whoever comes to try his luck for her worthless self, as she describes herself. She describes herself as an object of no value, but in fact she is invaluable. Aragon, and so have I addressed me. Fortune now to my heart's hope. And so Aragon says that he has made up his mind and now he's going to let fortune decide what and his heart hopes for. And he looks at the caskets, gold, silver, and base lead. He says gold, silver, and ordinary lead. Who chooseth me must give an hazard all he hath. So he reads the inscription on the leaden casket. The inscription on the leaden casket says, whoever chooses the leaden casket must um, give up all he hath, and he must take given lay all that he has on chance. So the Prince of Aragon says, "You shall look fairer ere I give or hazard." So the prince says that you know he'll not choose the lead casket because lead looks so dull and ordinary, and it should look fairer before he gives anything or takes anything upon chance. What says the golden chest? Ha! Let me see. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. What many men desire, that many may be meant by the full multitude that choose by show, not learning more than the fond eye doth teach, which prize not to the interior, but like the martlet builds in the weather on the outward wall, even in the force and road of casualty. So the inscription on the golden casket reads that whoever chooses the golden casket will get what many men desire. And the Prince of Aragon interprets this word many as the many people, the full multitude. And he says that many people choose by show that what, what they can see, and they don't try to look under the surface. They just are attracted by uh, attractive exterior, and these this multitude, these many people are like martlets. Martlets are birds which build only on the outward wall without considering anything about the strength of its nest. And he says that he will not choose what many men desire because he will not jump with common spirits, he will not jump with the ordinary people and rank himself with the barbarous multitudes, he will not rank himself with the many, with the crowd of people. So then he comes to the silver casket and he says, "Why then to thee, thou silver treasure, tell me once more what title thou dost bear." So he reads the inscription on the silver casket which says, "Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves." So whoever chooses a silver casket will get as much as he deserves. And well said too, for who shall go about to cozen fortune and be honourable without the stamp of merit? So the Prince of Aragon notes that in the world there are many people who seem to be fortunate, who have a lot of wealth and so on, but they do not have merit to have earned that wealth by honorable means. So he said, "Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity." So the Prince of Aragon says that let no one presume to wear an undeserved dignity, let no one go behind fortune who do not deserve the fortune. Oh, that estates, degrees, and offices were not derived corruptly, and that clear honor were purchased by the merit of the wearer. So the Prince of Aragon says that honors should be purchased by the merit of the wearer, and that estates, degrees, and offices should not be derived corruptly, that is, by exchange of money. Estates, offices, and degrees should not be obtained. So, how many then should cover that stand there? How many be commanded that command? So the prince says that if this sort of honesty were to enter society, then people who stand with head bare should cover their head with hats, and those who command would, in truth, in reality, be commanded because they do not have the merit to command. How much low peasantry would then be gleaned from the true seed of honor? So, low, how many low people would be separated from the true seed of honorable estates, degrees, and offices? And how much honor picked from the chaff and ruin of the times to be new varnished? So, if things were to be honest, then true honor would be picked from the ruin of the times, and it would be new varnish. Well, but to my choice, who chooses me shall get as much he deserves. I will assume dessert. Give me a key for this. So this Prince of Aragon chooses a silver casket and is given the key and instantly unlock my fortunes here. He opens the silver casket. Portia, too long a pause for that which you find there. So Portia says that the Prince of Aragon pauses for too long a time and he's not excited about what he finds inside the casket. Aragon, what's here? The portrait of a blinking idiot presenting me a schedule. So inside the silver casket, there's a portrait of a blinking idiot, and it's presenting the Prince of Aragon with a scroll, a schedule, and he says, "I will read it. How much unlike art thou to Portia? How much unlike my hopes and my deservings?" So the Prince of Aragon says that his hopes have been dashed and his hopes have been lost, and he says that it's not like Portia at all, and he says that he does not deserve this, and who chooses me as much shall have as much as he deserves. Did I deserve no more than a fool's head? Is that my prize? Wails the Prince of Aragon. Are my deserts no better? Portia, to offend and judge are distinct offices and of opposed nature. Aragon, what is here? He reads the scroll within. He reads, the fire 7 times tried this, 7 times tried that judgment is, that did never choose amiss. So, the scroll says that if a person were to choose properly, if a person were to choose his wife properly, then he should have been tried 7 times. And each of those 7 times would have been like entering fire. And if a person manages to survive such a test and such an ordeal, then he will never choose amiss. Some there be that shadows kiss, such have but a shadow's bliss. So some men kiss a shadow. They think they hope for happiness by kissing someone, but the happiness they have is but shadowy. There be fools alive, I wish, silvered over, and so was this. So the Prince of Aragon says, reads a scroll which says, there are fools who are silvered over, and so was this. So it is in the silver casket. Take what wife you wear to bed, I will ever be your head. So whatever wife, whatever maiden, or whatever lady the Prince of Aragon chooses, it will have to be with his head. So be gone, you are sped. So the final words of the scroll read, tell the Prince of Aragon to be gone. And Prince of Aragon takes it resignedly and he says, still more fool I shall appear by the time I linger here. So if he says that if he were to wait any longer, then he'll appear more of a fool. And he says, with one fool set I came to woo, but I can't go away with two. And so he came to woo Portia with one head, but he goes away with two heads. Sweet adieu, I keep my oath, patiently to bear my wrath. So the Prince of Aragon says that he'll keep the oaths that he's sworn upon, and he'll bear his uh, frustrations and irritations with patience. He exits with his train. Thus had the candle singed the moth. Oh, these deliberate fools, when they choose, they have the wisdom by their wits to lose. So, the uh, Prince of Aragon is like a moth which has fallen into the flame, and Portia says that the prince and the Prince of Aragon and the Prince of Morocco have tried to use their intelligence, have tried to use their minds in choosing their wives, but in the using the intelligence, in the wisdom they have lost. Narissa, the ancient saying is no heresy, hanging and wiving go by destiny. So Narissa says that the ancient proverb is no calumny, is no blasphemy, that if a person is hanged or if a person is married, then hanging and wiving go by destiny. Come, draw the curtain, Narissa, says Portia. Enter messenger. Messenger, where is my lady? Messenger asks for Portia. Portia, here, what would thou, my lord? So Portia asks him what he wants. Messenger, madam, there is a lighted at your gate, a young Venetian, one that comes before to signify the approaching of his lord, from whom he bringeth sensible greets, to wit, besides commends and courteous breath, gifts of rich value. So the messenger tells Portia that at her gate, at the gate of a villa in Belmont, there has come a young Venetian, and the young Venetian is a messenger who has come to announce the coming of his lord. And the messengers brought gifts of rich value and courteous greetings. Yet I have not seen so likely an ambassador of love. A day in April never came so sweet to show how costly summer was at hand, as his forerunner comes before his lord. And so, the messenger tells Portia he is not seen a more likely ambassador of love. And he says the messengers come like a day in April, which is going to announce the coming of summer as the messenger comes before his lord. Portia, no more, I pray thee, I am half afeard thou wilt say anon that he is some kin to thee. Thou spendest such high day wit in praising him. So Portia says that the messenger should not continue to talk, and he says that she says that the messenger will be some relative of the whoever has come to woo Portia, and she tells Nerissa, come, come, Nerissa, for I long to see quick Cupid's post that comes so merrily. So she says that she longs to see, eager to see quick Cupid's post, that is, the lover has come in such a courteous and sensible manner. Nerissa, Bassanio, Lord love, if thine will it be. So Nerissa hopes that Bassanio has come to woo Portia if it is the will of Cupid, the Lord of love.